Here is Guilty Pleasure record number 1. Somebody in the studio loves this record. Nice. It's Charlie playing around with the keyboard.
Charlie, it's like shameless promotion.
Let me flick this on a little bit, because I think I know what it is.
I know what it is.
It's Gaga. Now, we had a band come in and do a cover of this. Phoenix Club came in and did a cover of it a few weeks ago. It was brilliant. It's on the YouTube channel, by the way. Better than the original, I thought. Someone in the studio loves this record, okay? So put your thinking caps on. Who do you think likes that record? We'll come back to it in a minute. This is Guilty Pleasure record number 2. This is Charlie's experimental phase.
This just sounds too Charlie. So
yeah.
I'm loving all of it.
There's nothing guilty about it.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Is this Tiny Temper?
Yeah.
Tiny Temper, is it? I think. It's the Tiny Temper Calvin Harris thing, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Alright, this is Guilty Pleasure record number 3.
It's totally got to be you on this one.
What? Brad immediately thinks that's me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
See, say what you like. Everyone's dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's dancing.
Definite sauce.
Yeah, that's sauce.
So, this is sauce.
This is sauce.
Yeah, none of your New York stuff. This is Bradley Stoke sauce, man.
This is HP.
Okay, so this is Guilty Pleasure record number 4. It's chopsticks, isn't it? That you learn when you're...
Is that it?
Is that it?
Oh, we have a problem with that one.
There's a glitch in the system.
There is a little glitch in the system. Okay, well, never mind. We'll come to that one. Here's number 5.
I'm in Meadowbrook School today, and with me I've got...
What is this? Something's gone wrong here. Hold on.
And do you want to tell me about your cars?
Can't get enough of this lady's voice.
I know. It's great. Okay, never mind. Okay, this is the only problem with this feature, because I never pressure test it, because I need to join in. So sometimes things go wrong, and that's okay. Okay, well, this is someone's guilty pleasure, no question. That's the way. Lucy's dancing. Look, this is Lucy's guilty pleasure. The former chair of Bradley Stoke Radio dancing to Casey and the Sunshine Band. And we have one more guilty pleasure. Oh, this is a belter. Who brought this in? This is Robbie. I'm telling you, this is Robbie. This has got Robbie written all over it. See, he's like me, try to pretend he's younger than he really is. This is Shergil Farki from the 80s. Fergal Sharkey, I mean. You must have heard of the Undertones. Oh, please tell me you've heard of the Undertones.
Oh, yeah.
Teenage Kicks by the Undertones. John Peel's favourite record. Lyrics are written on his headstone. Anyway.
He was the lead singer.
How can you go from that to this?
Well, that is an excellent point. This was his solo career about 8-9 years after Teenage Kicks. You can't see John Peel putting this on his headstone, do you know what I mean? It's called A Good Heart. I think it was about 85, 86. So, well, maybe I'm bluffing, Joe. Maybe I'm bluffing. Let me move your mic a little bit closer so we can hear you. Come a bit closer, Joe. So, those are the selection of guilty pleasures. Because of the slight error, a couple of people have got away with their guilty pleasures, only they won't, because they will be forced to nominate what their guilty pleasure was. Yeah, we just won't play it. All right, so this was Guilty Pleasure record number 1, and I will ask each of you in turn who you think brought in Applause by Lady Gaga as their guilty pleasure record. Let's start with my friend and co-presenter, Mr. Robbie Bristol.
Well, firstly, fellas, can we go down the line again with names?
Okay. Charlie, Brad, Charlie, Joe.
Charlie, Brad, Charlie, Joe. I'm going to go for Charlie number 2.
Singer Charlie. Okay. Apprentice Joe.
I'm going with you. James.
You think this is mine?
Yeah, you've brought in Lady Gaga before. I'm wondering if you maybe have a secret.
No, I haven't. You'll be accusing me of bringing Girls Aloud next. All right, Joe, drummer from last night's victory, Joe.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's you guys. I think it's not guilty enough for Crispy. He would admit that.
Yeah, you would admit this.
I'm gonna go with Joe. I think
Me.
Apprentice Joe.
Apprentice
Okay.
Joe, you put up a good fight. I didn't
Yeah.
too good.
I think he was too quick to pass the buck to me.
He was.
All right.
He was.
So Charlie, singer Charlie.
I'm going with Bradley.
Brad. Okay. Brad.
This sounds too Charlie to be his guilty pleasure. Charlie Baxter, that is.
Okay. Electronica Charlie.
I think it might be Joe, because he's into his heavier sort of stuff. So
Is he?
You never know.
Joe the drummer, Joe.
Joe the drummer.
Joe the drummer, Joe. Okay. And finally, Electronica Charlie.
I'm going for Apprentice Joe.
Apprentice Joe.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
him raving up to this.
Okay. So would the
I see everyone raving up
we've
to
seen him in a mosh pit. Trust me. Don't be fooled by the angelic good looks. We've seen him, haven't we,
He
Robbie?
was giving it some,
on the
wasn't he?
floor in a mosh pit. I'll take you all on.
Not if he's on the floor, you don't.
Well, no. You'd be surprised. So, would the person whose guilty pleasure is applause by Lady Gaga please make themselves known? It's so Brad. Look at his face. Is it Brad?
It is me.
Yeah!
Do I get a point for that?
Yeah, if you got it right, you get a point. Well done. Brad, I need to play poker with you because I make a fortune. As I was saying that, you were sort of going like this.
It's off the new Clubland CD, and I kind of bought it, and yeah, it was on it, and
I've got to say, I like Lady Gaga as well. I got a bit of a soft spot for her music. I like it. I think it's alright.
Saying you got it
Nothing
off the
guilty about
Clubland CD doesn't
Yeah,
make
wait,
it.
wait.
any-
All credibility's
for her album,
gone.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, cool, man.
That's the guilty
Clubland.
ain't nobody
pleasure
got
is
time
even
for
worse.
that.
Okay, so we moved on to Guilty Pleasure record number 2, which was the Calvin Harris Tiny Temper collaboration. All right. So who do we think, Robbie?
Apprentice Joe.
Apprentice Joe. Do you know what I think? Apprentice Joe for this one as well. Apprentice Joe. Who are you
I'm
gonna?
Synth Charlie. just 'cause it's got
Synth Charlie, Electronica Charlie, Joe Drummer Joe.
Charlie Crisp. I'm going to go for Charlie. Charlie Crisp.
Okay.
I go for Apprentice Joe because he just
Apprentice
lied
Joe.
so badly.
GCSE drama, you know.
Apprentice Joe.
Brad saying Joe.
I'm going for Robbie because he feels left out because no one's nominated him.
But Charlie is always playing for the team, isn't he? That's nice. So, who brought in Guilty Pleasure record number 2, Calvin Harris and Tiny Temper?
Yeah, it was me.
Apprentice Joe, explain yourself.
Well, I normally bring in like that really cheesy 70s stuff, so I thought I'd go a different direction.
Yeah, and
So-
actually you did well because last time we played this, you brought in KC and the Sunshine Band.
And you guessed immediately, so
I
I thought
did.
I'd bring something different. and
But
everyone
that
guessed
means
something.
someone else has brought in KC and the Sunshine Band this week because that was a later selection. So, the thick plottums. Okay. Guilty Pleasure record number 3. What do we think, Robbie?
I'm going to go you.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm going to go with you as well.
Oh,
Just
thank
jump
you.
on
All
the
right,
bandwagon.
great.
Oh, it's funky. I'm going to go for Charlie. Synth Charlie.
Since Charlie,
Yeah.
Ooh,
singer Charlie,
I'm going for Mr. Trot. Joe.
Joe,
Trot.
drummer Joe. Okay.
Ah.
It's got to be Charlie Crisp. He just loves old bad music. Sorry, but you know.
Charlie, singer Charlie.
Charlie singer
That's
Okay.
not bad.
Okay.
Old bad music. He's wearing a Rolling Stones t-shirt. Surely that's.
Exactly.
Oh, controversial. Controversial. Okay, since Charlie.
I'm going
No
for you.
slandering.
You think it's me
Yeah.
as well?
I'm throwing it.
Okay, so I love the way everyone immediately thinks of it. Is it because I'm the oldest in the room by any chance? Okay, so would the person whose guilty pleasure is a theme from Greece, no less, please make themselves known now? Yeah, okay, it's me. I love this record. Come on, it's brilliant.
It's not from Greece, is it?
This is the theme from Greece by Frankie Valli. Yeah. Which was apparently the story is it was written by your man from the Bee Gees. What's his name? Barry Gibb. In about 20 minutes or something, as like a throwaway. I'll have that. It's rubbish. And I think it's brilliant. I think it's really funky, and I'll shut up because I can tell I'm losing the ring. Okay. So guilty pleasure number 4, I think, was one of the ones where we only had 10 seconds. So something went wrong in the data transfer. No problem.
we've gotta guess
So we
that.
won't go round the room. Would someone please just tell me who this is? Would the person who brought this in tell me what that's supposed to be?
That would be Kate Nash. Love Kate Nash.
Okay. So since funky synth
Seriously.
Charlie, since electronica wizard programmer Charlie loves Kate Nash.
Yep.
But cannot convert a file, apparently.
Oh.
I bought it off iTunes earlier.
Thank you very much. Very
What can I
good.
say?
So Kate Nash is your secret guilty pleasure.
Got all her albums.
Was that actually part of the track? Or was it just
That's the
something-
first 10 seconds of the
Right,
track.
okay.
Yeah,
When she
so
starts
something
singing
like
in
that.
her voice, it sounds a bit like this.
She
Well,
talks
mock me.
like that,
Yeah,
don't she?
all the time.
Now, we have an expert in the room.
Oh,
East London.
She's a proper Mockney. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, is she not from your part of the world then?
No, well, she's
Because
from
she's
London. I
saying
think.
like it, do you know what I mean? She's all like that. I'll sort that right out. Do you know what I mean?
No, she's not from my neck of the woods, Essex.
Oh, isn't she?
My neck of the woods, yeah.
Where's she from then, Kate Nash? Hertfordshire or something.
I'd ask her number one fan over there. I don't know. She's got all the albums.
She has a mansion in Whitney or somewhere. Anyway, okay, well, so that was Kate Nash. Which leaves the tantalising question, if Casey and the Sunshine is not Apprentice Joe's, whose is it? Quickly nominate everyone.
Charlie Chris.
Charlie Chris.
Charlie Chris.
Everyone's saying Charlie Chris. Singer Charlie. Any advances on Singer Charlie?
Charlie Chris.
I'm
He
happy
he
to
was
go with
singing
that.
on
Yeah.
Joe, I'm going to go. Well, hang on. Don't I get a vote?
Yes, you do get a vote. No one believes you because everyone knows it's you, but go on, it's fine.
Joe Trott.
Joe Trott, he said, is best. Go on, Charlie, admit to it. It's yours, isn't it?
No.
No! Whose is it? It's mine! Have you two ganged up there? Because I've got to say, Joe, you played a blinder there.
I know,
That
I look-
was-
I look
don't play
all-
poker with this man, you'll lose a fortune.
I look moody and angry, but actually I love a bit of disco.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what can I tell you? So only
Said-
Charlie Crisp guessed
Yeah, correctly.
Wow.
correctly.
How about
So
that?
that's an extra point for you.
I'm free.
The whole three. He's on fire.
I'm gonna start
Joe,
playing poker.
what do you love about this record?
I just love how happy it is. You know, it's just great. It's just got some funk. It's rhythm. It's
You don't need a reason to love a guilty pleasure.
There you go. See,
You don't need a reason.
Yeah.
It's a guilty pleasure for that reason. Right. Well, there we are. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Who would have thunk it? Now,
Ooh, no.
who's left? Who hasn't been yet? Charlie, singer Charlie.
No, I'm gone.
Robbie.
Robbie is gone.
Robbie and Charlie.
So that means it's Robbie or Charlie whose file didn't work, and one of them, the other one, likes A Good Heart by Fergal Sharkey, which I believe was rejected from the GWR playlist for being too rubbish. So I think this is Robbie. I think age is coming into play here. I think this is Robbie. Robbie, what do you? Well, you're going to nominate
I'm
Charlie,
gonna
obviously.
go Charlie,
Apprentice Joe.
I have no idea to be honest, but gonna go with Charlie's because
Okay, Charlie, singer Charlie. Joe.
Robbie. Go for Robbie.
Joe saying Robbie.
It's a bit naff for me.
You always got Robbie.
A bit
Oh,
naff.
Brad,
Bit naff for you. I'm going to go with Charlie Chris
for that comment.
for that comment.
And finally, Charlie.
Well, Charlie Chris was rubbish chasing music, but he's even worse at operating, making stuff work. So he's probably got the technical bit.
Ah,
Not that I can talk.
yeah, I was going to say, you're
Yeah.
applying a bit of science to this.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so A Good Heart by Fergal Sharkey. That's a belter and a guilty pleasure. Whoever's brought that in. Which one of you two is it?
Oh, it's the 80s in a child.
It is Robbie. I said it was.
So crispy.
Robbie, really?
Your
Your guilty pleasures are normally like dodgy but likable.
This is
dodgy.
just terrible, right? Well, yeah, I don't know. It just takes me,
Just
late
takes you back
80s.
to the 80s.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah,
me back
yeah.
to childhood, happy days.
Now 6. It was on the tape.
Was it
version.
really on Now
It
6?
was genuinely. Yeah.
So mine was
Not that I remember or anything.
So mine was the lady's voice then.
Yours was the lady's
Yeah.
voice,
Yours was the lady's
which
voice,
went
yeah.
somehow wrong. So what was yours,
I don't know.
Charlie?
Mine was the very brilliant Jamie Cullum.
Well, that got a big response. I wish I had a tumbleweed sound effect.
Brilliant. You like Whitesnake and Bon Jovi. And
I also but I
And-
like Jamie Cullum.
He likes Whitesnake, Bon Jovi, and Jamie Cullum.
and Aerosmith. Surely those are all more guilty than James Cullum.
No.
Bon Jovi, come on.
Yeah.
I like
a bit of Bon Jovi, actually.
Yeah. So there we are. Let's just go around the room. Everyone's guilty pleasure was mine was the Grease theme tune, obviously. Enough said. Robbie's was Fergal Sharkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe's was
Calvin Harris party.
Calvin Harris. Joe
I'm with
Trots
Casey
was
in the Sunshine Band.
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Jamie Cullum.
Jamie Cullum.
Lady Gaga applause.
The Nash.
The Nash. The Nashster. Well, there we are. Who would have thunk that? What do you think, everyone? Do you feel like you know each other a little bit better now? You know,
Not at all.
No.
Absolute waste of time.
Absolute waste of time. Well, I hope you enjoyed it at home anyway, because these guys are now going to have a fight and split up on air.